Alessandro Nivola comes out and talks about Kraven the Hunter. Let's discuss what he talked about. Yo, what is going on, you guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Kraven the Hunter. I know that's like the first time I've said that in a very long time, because not a lot has been coming out about this movie over the last few months. The only Spider-Man spin-off movie that's been getting all the rounds recently has been Madam Web, so I'm happy to finally get talking about Kraven the Hunter. However, before we get into the news, if you are new around here and enjoy all types of Spider-Man content, from news from the games and movies and the shows, fan fictions and everything Spider-Man, and also shorts where I give you Marvel facts, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and make sure to hit the bell so you do not miss another video as soon as it gets put out on the channel. You can be in the loop as soon as the news goes out. But with that being said, let's get straight into the news. So as I said in the intro, Alessandro Nivola is playing an unknown villain in Kraven the Hunter, and he has come out in an interview talking about the role that he plays in the film. The interview was with Hollywood Reporter, and at first he goes on to talk about the director of the film and how he's worked with him before. He says, yeah, it was from all having worked with him before on A Most Violent Year, and it's funny because up until this year, no director has ever hired me twice, and then in 1 year, David O. Russell put me in a second movie, as did JC, so maybe this ship is turning around. But the most enticing part about Kraven was that JC was going to direct it. We had such a great time on A Most Violent Year. I also knew that Chris Abbott from A Most Violent Year, and so it was kind of a reunion that way. He then goes on to talk about more about the director and the filming and how this movie uses less CGI than normal and how his character is more physically built than CGI in post-production. He says these movies all have a certain formula to them, but JC said that he wanted to shoot all on location. The physical ability of the characters in the movie is also more grounded in reality. Now, first of all, I just want to mention that this is obvious going into Kraven, because we know Kraven won't be a very CGI heavy character. We know he's physically built, and most of his abilities come from his physicality. It's not like he swings from webs or he's got a Venom symbiote. He's literally just a guy who's jacked and is very, very strong. He then goes on to say people aren't flying around or anything. JC described it as the most incredible Olympic athlete you've ever seen. Moreover, the role, which I'm not yet allowed to disclose, was just a real acting opportunity for me. You'll see. He then goes on to say it's just a great character part, and I didn't have to do any CGI, as I previously discussed. He also goes on to say that I didn't have to do any green screen. I only transform physically in the final moments of the movie. So it's just a classic villain role. Now, he says that the villain that he plays transforms physically by the end of the film. This is because Kraven the Hunter is confirmed to have a time jump, and the actor also mentions this in another quote as well. He says it has a really interesting, complex psychology and personal history to draw on, and the movie has a time jump in it, so the character changes a lot from the way he is at the beginning of the film. It was much of an acting opportunity as any other film I've done, and I didn't have to contend with wearing spandex outfit or anything like that. So once again, that's just him talking about how he really likes how the character changes physically and there's not a lot of CGI involved, but also the fact that the character changes from the start of the film to the end of the film quite physically and psychologically as well. So it seems like whatever villain he plays, the mental and the psychological development of that character will also be represented through the physicalities of the character as well. Potentially, this villain could be friends with Sergei at the start of the film and then end up being his arch rival by the end of the film. Or at least that's one option for what could be happening here. But that brings us on to the next crucial question. Who, in fact, is this mystery villain? Who is the character that Alessandro Nivola is playing? Well, the MCU Direct, the article that I got all of the quotes from, reveals that their theory is that this character could be Gregory Hurd. And basically, if you don't know who this is, this character is essentially an engineer, and his expertise is in cybernetics. And essentially, he's a member of the Gathering 5 ritual. So the theory states that Gregory Hurd will potentially go through a ritualistic transformation, making him more physically stronger. This is the physical transformation that potentially he is talking about, but at the end of the day, we have no idea who this mystery villain could be. It could be an original villain made up by the director and the writers of the film, or it could be a very low-level character from the comic books that is being adapted for the villain of Kraven the Hunter. As we know, Kraven the Hunter is a villain of Spider-Man, so doesn't really have villains of his own, if you know what I mean. But another character this could potentially be is someone like Sin Eater, or someone from Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery that is very low level down, who could be a very big physical opponent for Kraven. Sin Eater could potentially be one of those villains that becomes physically strong, and if given the right story, could be a good match for Kraven by the end of the film. But who do you think Alessandro Nivola is playing in this film? I want to know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Make sure to tell me what you think of Kraven the Hunter as well. Are you excited for it? When do you think we'll be getting a trailer? Because that's another thing that we're going to be discussing in the near future. And like I did say at the start of the video, if you don't want to miss any more Spider-Man videos, including news from the games and movies and the shows, theories and fan fictions, make sure to hit that subscribe button to not miss any videos as soon as they come out on the channel. And make sure to hit the bell so you can stay in the loop with everything Spider-Man. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care and peace.